my back.
What up,
Y'all got
though?
some wine?
Man,
Oh, heck no.
You like smoking?
And I do mean that.
You cute.
Literally.
Y'all got life
Make it
insurance?
make sense.
You want
Those
life insurance?
were the days.
Welcome to another episode of Somebody's Auntie. Not your mama's sister, but your auntie with a T. I'm your girl, A-List Nat.
What's up? It's Keysha E.
And what's up? It's Chevy the Shegan. And did you change your name?
You know what? I have to figure it out. I have to figure it out.
Natalie
Look.
got so many A-listers. Are you on the run?
You know, listen.
If the fans look at you, let me know right now because I don't want to be a part of the podcast with the fans.
I don't want you
I'm
to
definitely not coming to the comedy show. Wait, bitch, I'm about to fucking fall out.
Listen,
I'm like, that was not her name last
Listen,
episode.
I've been going by Natalie Knox, but I also DJ. So my DJ name is different. Then my podcast name is different. So I'm trying to figure out a name that works for all three. So look, y'all, I'm trying all three names. Y'all let me know which one y'all like. I'm Natalie Knox. A-List Nat is my Instagram handle.
Okay.
And DJ Knox. I don't know yet. Okay, we're about to figure it out. Next week it might be something else.
We're going to talk about branding next episode.
Yeah, I think Keysha E since like ninth grade. You know what? Y'all know it's a lot of Keishas, right? So
Yeah.
when I was in high school, it was always some shit with some Keishas, right? Like, oh girl, I heard you got beat up by such. I'm like, no, that was Keisha Thomas. Like, oh girl, I heard you be stealing from your job. I'm like, no, that's Keisha such. I ain't gonna say her last name because she really was stealing. So everybody would come at me with drama, and I'm like, listen, from now on, if they don't say Keysha E, they're not talking about me, and I can guarantee you they're not gonna say that because I don't be in nothing, right? And it just stuck. And then I got to college and I was trying to drop it, but so many people from my high school went to my college, so it just became a thing, Keysha E, Keysha E. And then by the time I came out here for acting and comedy, it was just like, okay, cool. So that's kind of how it.
You see, and my name has always been, I wanted a nickname in college, and nobody gave me one. So I was like, I'm going to give myself one. I like basketball. I play basketball, and my name is Natalie. I'm going to call myself Nat Balls. And I go home, and I tell my dad that, and he's like,
please don't ever Nat Balls.
Nope. So that only lasts ever like a day or two, but I'm like, I want to call myself something.
We had nicknames when I played basketball in middle school. Mine was Half Pint. That's how you know it was 95.
Yo, how I got the name Chevy, I can't say because I don't want nobody to come after me for coins. But my nickname growing up was Butterball.
I can see that.
But my nickname in high school was Knuckles.
She used to fight. She had a man.
Period.
I can see Butterball.
Yeah.
Chevy, like, I'm your auntie that can come beat the kid up if you need me to.
No, for real. But I really fought the same girls in high school. Like, I never fought, like, different people. You know how, like, people...
Multiple times?
Multiple times.
Like, they wanted to keep getting beat up?
Because their crew kept growing. And it was kind of like, okay, so you was talking junk, and now here you come bringing Marianne, who you just met on the first day of school.
Dang.
And I got kicked out of high school, guys. And I couldn't
fighting?
Yeah, and I had to go to Focus in Oak Park. And I had to go to Focus, like alternative school.
I remember Focus.
And if you cannot get a 4.0 in alternative school, something's is definitely wrong with you.
That is so
Girl,
true.
I was the smartest person in the world,
That
okay?
is so
I was
true.
like, I got a 4.0 at school. They was like, it's alternative.
Oh,
That
my
is so
God.
true.
I'm so glad we've grown, guys.
I'm so happy we
Matured.
grown.
We've grown. We've matured.
So happy.
Chevy.
What we talking? Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No.
Okay. No, I was gonna say Chevy the Shegan, Keysha E. I'm Natalie Knox or A-List Nat. We'll figure it out. But people tell me my name has a nice ring.
It
so I might
does.
just,
I don't know why
Natalie
you don't
Knox
use Natalie
does.
Knox.
Yeah.
everybody keeps
It kind of
saying
sounds like a porn star a little bit, but I mean,
It's a catchy
Ooh,
stage
that's
name.
it's
but
intriguing.
It's just because I don't want y'all to know all my business. I want to keep something, Natalie Knox. I don't know.
Girl,
Okay.
I'm like the girl with who smiled a lot. You smile a lot. That's pretty.
Thank you, Chevy. Okay,
Yeah.
what are we talking about today, y'all?
Let's jump into it. Let's
jump
find
into it.
out. We
I'm
find out
nervous.
when y'all find out.
I'm so nervous. Okay,
We
Don't be
find out
scared.
when y'all find out.
this one's calling my name.
Don't be scared.
This one's calling my
I
name.
just can't stop
You just
writing
gotta have that. You gotta
songs
have that tea on the
about
spot.
it. I love you so much.
What we got today, y'all?
What we got?
Ooh,
Oh.
therapy.
Ooh.
We're talking about therapy today.
Therapy.
I'm in therapy.
You in therapy?
I'm in therapy.
That's dope.
I have to go to therapy
Yeah.
because these hands.
Cause these hands.
No, just joking,
I go to
No.
therapy, so I'll beat y'all ass.
You know why I have to go to therapy? Because I feel like it's essential to glowing older.
Glowing older.
It's very essential. Like, and when people be like, I don't need therapy, I'll be like, I said that too.
Yeah.
But everyone denies this. I don't know why
Yeah.
therapy and mental health is so banned in the Black community to
Yeah,
our older,
Yeah.
like our older, like aunts and uncles and stuff like that. But therapy really saved my life, y'all, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Therapy saved my life.
That's a good
dope.
question. I don't know why it is actually shunned upon. It's like even, you tell your family members or friends, it's like, yeah, I'm going to try therapy. They're like, what? For why? Why? Why
Yeah.
you going to? I'm like, this is exactly why. And
This
it makes
is exactly
you not
why.
it makes you not
Yeah.
comfortable coming to this person now because you're talking about, oh, no, why are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that? So it is,
Yeah.
I don't know why that's a cultural thing. but it's definitely a cultural thing. But you've recently started it?
It's been like a year now, and I think going through therapy helped me become more vulnerable with like even like the most recent events in my life. Like most people be like, I don't want people to know what's going on with me, but me, I need my tribe to know, and it's okay because I've lived my life only giving certain information to certain people, and the people who received that information wasn't the great people that should have received it. So it helped me be more vulnerable with people who I'm really, really close with instead of being a strong person a lot.
Yeah.
And it helped with accountability for sure. But I recommend therapy 100%. I have a Black therapist.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is your therapist?
Yes. She's Black.
A woman? Okay.
She's a woman. It's everything that I am. I look for that in my therapist.
Yeah.
You know, like is it my sexuality? Is it my lifestyle? Like whatever it is, I try to look for that when I'm picking a therapist. And it's very hard to choose a therapist, guys. And a lot of people want a recommendation from their friends and stuff, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that. Like you literally have to research yourself. Researching a therapist is like having a perfect vacation package
it's work
that you want to go to each and every time. So I highly recommend therapy. And I actually found my therapist on Google.
Okay.
I like Google Black therapists. And then I think Black therapy came up. If you guys have jobs, I don't know if you guys know this, but most companies have an EAP program. And it helps, it like allows you to go to a therapist for maybe your you get 3 to 4 sessions for free. And then after that, you have to pay out of pocket depending if your insurance pay for it. But a lot of people, medical insurance do cover therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on therapy? What do you think?
I think therapy is good. I think the reason it's such a stigma in the Black community is because it was always looked upon as like something's wrong with you, right? If you go to therapy. And also we grew up in our generation where parents used to be like, girl, sit down. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Like that kind of a thing. I never thought about therapy until recently because I did think, being one of those people of like, oh, therapist is for people who have like I don't have like these childhood traumas, or I wasn't like molested, or I wasn't like I felt like I didn't have these things where I needed to go to therapy. And then as I got older, it's like, yo, life just be hitting you. You know what I'm saying? And I realized my friends is probably tired of me. Like,
okay,
you be okay.
Period. Because I was gonna say,
I'm like, okay, let's be very clear.
Let me just stop. Let me just no.
Ain't this some shit? I'm like, one, my friend, and then two, no matter how subjective that they can be or how unbiased that they can be or how much maybe even experience in that arena they may have, it's like they're not a professional.
Exactly.
You know? So,
and they might give you that biased opinion. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
I know who my unbiased friends are. So I do talk to my unbiased friends and family members.
I'm not biased, I don't think.
I don't think you are, but I feel like I haven't really talked deep with like super deep with either one of you on that level.
We talk like surface, and there's nothing wrong with having surface conversations with your friends.
But
some
stuff.
But not to the level of like
she needs therapy.
Because you'll call me with some stuff, but
I will. But certain things I feel like, and no shade, like right now I talk heavily to one of my married friends, right?
Right, because they have the experience.
She's been married for 10 years. She's been through everything that I'm calling her about in regards to a relationship. You know what I mean? And she's very unbiased, and she's been through therapy. Her mom is a therapist, so like certain things I may talk to you about, but not in super depth or not in. It's not even in a sense of like. Can you help me on this?
It's
versus
just like,
I'm having a conversation with my friend and telling you. So.
But are y'all mindful on who you get that information from?
Yes.
For example, let's say you did ask this friend, right? And let's say she was married, but she had a rough marriage. And it's very, very bad. And whatever advice she gives you is kind of like, because she's had this bad relationship, she's kind of, girl, man, I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't get married. Like, are you very mindful who you get your information from?
I'm very mindful of that. And that's another reason why I said, even though, and I don't think that she has that, I don't have that with her, that's why I'm like, I still think it's best to go see somebody who is a professional in that area. And so recently I've just been thinking about it just with life, like all the thoughts coming at life, like I'm about to be middle age, you know what I mean? And where I'm going with my career, relationship.
So you've never had therapy?
I've never had therapy.
Okay.
So like relationship stuff and like, I never had consistent therapy. Let me say that. I did contact. Actually, we were together. I had a consultation, and I was like, I didn't know how I felt about her. So I was kind of feeling people out.
With me?
We were shooting like some TikToks, and we went to Chipotle, and I was like, I got a Zoom.
I didn't know that was for therapy.
Yeah, but
okay. So why didn't you say exactly what that was for? Were you embarrassed or something? Because you didn't say I have a therapy appointment. You were like, I have a Zoom. I assumed it was work.
Well, that's just how I am. I don't ever really go into super detail about things. I just be like, I gotta go at 5.
Ain't that
never
the truth,
really
Chevy? Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. I mean, okay.
So I've been trying to find. So I've had therapy sessions, but I haven't consistently found somebody that I want to go to. But you said what? But
no, that's deep.
But no, I think it's good, and I realized I had to change my mind frame on it. It's not about like you had to have this super dark type of, you know, anything that happened to you. It's like life. It's like processing your thoughts. It's like I want to be a better version of myself. Yeah. And so that's why it would help. And so all of those things. And I personally, and what I'm looking for is a black male therapist.
Okay. Someone told me to switch to a black male. I've been thinking about it. However, you said, "Are you mindful?"
Are you mindful? Yeah.
So being in a relationship, I will tell you how I had to become mindful. I was in a relationship with someone, and it was probably the best relationship I've experienced in my entire life. But when we would go through things, we would vent sometimes to not the wrong people, but to certain people that we're close to. I'm going to just say that. But after a while, I started to like listen to their stories, and I was like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't experienced love like I experienced love. So I don't think I can talk to y'all.
You gotta be careful.
And it wasn't like a bad thing, but it was just like your advice is coming maybe from a kiddie place. Yeah. Kiddie mentality. Not saying you are a kid, but maybe just like a you like me, yes or no type of situation. Mm-hmm. Not more so like, oh, wait, this looks like a marriage type, situation. So I had my first eye open, and when I started listening to, after I would like dialogue with my friends, like, no, this, and this. And when they would tell me their shit, I'm like,
I think you have to be mindful of who, and I think you can only take so much from it.
You can only
Even
take
with
so
my
much.
friend who's married, she's been married now for 10 kids, 2 kids, and 1 kid on the way. 10 years, I said 10 kids. 2 kids, 1 kid on the way. Overall, I think she's very happy, right? Mm-hmm. Of course, you're going to have issues in relationships, whatever. Yeah. But I can still only take so much from her because that's her marriage, right? So I think being mindful, like I normally consult with one of my cousins. She's about 55. She's been married for a very long time. Again, overall, I do believe she has a very happy marriage. Of course, there's always going to be issues. And even from that, though, it's only so much you can. So I'll take some things that's like, oh, that's a good thing. Oh, I never thought
you
about
filter
that.
out the information you want from them, and you take some and you leave some. So.
And I also think with a therapist, though, you could be, depending on the person and your friendship, but I think with a therapist, you could be a little more, you could be fully open.
You can be fully transparent,
right? So even with my cousin, sometimes like, she has this image of me of this. Can I tell her?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like, and I agree with that. I feel like, so my experience, I thought the same way about therapy in a sense of, I'm good. I got friends. I don't really, for me, it was more of an embarrassing thing. Like, I was like, I don't really want this stranger to know all this information about me. Like, it just felt weird of me telling you all my deepest, darkest moments. And I'm like, I don't want a therapist. During quarantine, I don't know if, I feel like a lot of the world was feeling lonely, just feeling in a weird place. Like, is the world about to end? Like, what's happening in life?
Quarantine was the best time of my life.
Oh, it was amazing. It was
They
amazing.
don't think I'm an introvert. Quarantine, remember I used to be like, y'all, get off my house party. Get off my FaceTime. Get off my live. I'm to myself.
Yeah. But that's the first time I sought a therapist. And she was an older Caucasian lady. And when I tell you, I read reviews because I was like, okay, she seems cool. She was so terrible.
I'm thinking she was about to be like, she was so good, she changed my life.
No, but this is why she was terrible, because you can tell that I was her only and probably first black client, right? What do you think about Black Lives Matter? How do you feel about growing up, in your community? And
she was asking you.
She was asking me questions.
She needed help.
She was asking me questions that had nothing to do with what I was seeking her for, and I had maybe 2 sessions where it went like consistent, just weird. Why are you asking me these black questions? And I'm gonna tell you because I'm super pro-black anyway, but it was just like, I can tell you're more so interested in like
trying to learn and figure out
as opposed to, hey, I'm feeling a little lonely right now. It's quarantine. I feel sad. My family's in Detroit. I'm feeling like this, and so I switched from her. What I do have now, really quick, though, is a black therapist, a black male therapist, which I went to. I forget the name of the website. I don't know
What's
if we can
your
say it. Can we say it? Are we allowed to say it?
We just said. That's the whole thing. Aunties give advice.
I forgot exactly. Let me Google it, but I forgot exactly. But I Googled it. But it literally lets you pick male, female, ethnicity, race, age. And I was like, I think I want a black male. I don't know why, but I think I want a black male. He has been incredible.
That's dope. I think that depending on maybe what you're going to therapy for, like when you were like, oh, I'm feeling lonely in this, then maybe it doesn't necessarily matter the race of the person. I think I think certain things as black people, just us growing up with the stigma of you can't go to therapy or mental health being this thing, I think that sometimes it is better to go to somebody who's black who can understand where that even stems from.
Because they get it.
And I wanted a male therapist too, just because I was like, I want a completely different perspective. Even though I feel like if you are a therapist, like if this is what you do as a profession, then you should be able to do it no matter what, whomever the person is. But I feel like we know there's little things. We know when it comes to like black men, and I love black men.
Yes.
But we know how the world in our history, the things that have happened that have created sometimes a fragile
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah, 100%.
We know how sometimes how the world beats up on them, and so when they come home, it could be that you've taken out what has happened here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this person could probably understand that, and so that's why that was kind of important to me. So I think maybe it depends on what you're seeking it for.
I agree with that because before the black male, I had this. Before the black male and after the Caucasian white lady, I had this other white lady, but she was super, super spiritual, and she's incredible. Like to this day, I can call her and say, "Hey, can we have a session?" I don't think we could talk about this, but I don't think therapy needs to be continuous. But during that time, I had moments where I was like, okay, I need spiritual guidance here. And she's very like spiritual based, not necessarily Bible based, but she could throw a bunch of verses at you and kind of relate what you're going through in a spiritual realm. And since I am very spiritual and I go to church and I read my Bible, she was perfect at that time. So I feel like she's somebody I'm gonna always use if I'm ever, so I'll have her and I have the black male too when I need it, but I don't do therapy like all year.
Yeah.
Do y'all?
How much are y'all paying? Because I know baby girl, she wanted $185
expensive.
an hour. And
Yeah.
how much? $185 an hour. And when I looked for my insurance through Blue Cross, I'm like, oh, I know Blue Cross. We could.
Right.
I couldn't really find black.
Here's the best
therapists,
part.
Yeah.
What was at
Here's the
least
best
not
part.
close in my area.
The Caucasian spiritual lady, she's donation based in Beverly Hills.
She's just out here giving away
She's
therapy for free.
incredible. I'm gonna
Okay.
share that. The black guy, it's however much you feel comfortable with. The minimum is like 40, but whatever you can afford.
What's his credentials?
He's dope. I'm
A
telling
lot
you.
of people are like that
I'm
these
like,
days, or like they're like donations only. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
I
it's
think
like
that's super
super
dope.
dope.
I think it's super dope if
Yeah.
if you're at a
I got
point where you
lucky.
just like, I want to help people out.
185.
I would be leery because that's just me.
I have
Yeah.
a
When the person's
controversial
like,
response to this.
What's
you said
up?
you had a spiritual. I'm going to call her an advisor.
Yeah.
And you have a therapist. So these are two different people, right?
different people, yeah.
Therapist, a spiritual advisor. She's what, Christian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about spirituality. And I asked her to find, and totally educate me, guys. I'm not biased or critical, like critiquing or nothing like that. But I was like, find me a scripture or find me a story in the Bible about a woman whose husband adored her. And it wasn't disrespect, and it wasn't infidelity, and it wasn't any of those things. Can you find me a story that's like that? Because I had like a few friends who were very
Ruth and
spiritual.
Boaz.
Huh?
Ruth and Boaz.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so after this, but the only reason I say that because a lot of people who seek spirituality, they only make it convenient for them. And I say that even with like marriage, right? Like we know what we're supposed to do with our husbands. We know that. We know that for
Spiritually, right?
spiritually.
Exactly. Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies?
And then we are what of Adam?
I don't
His
know.
rib.
Period.
There we go. His rib.
So
yeah.
we already know what we are for, a man. But sometimes it's just like, I'm not even going to hold you up. Sometimes I do get conflicted. And I know God is coming back. And this is a previous conversation we had. I know there is a God. I know that it is. But sometimes, like, those stories, I feel like people make them convenient for them in their lifestyle. And when I seek a spiritual advisor, I'm very, very careful because I don't want you to impose your beliefs on me. You know what I'm saying?
No, you got to already go in there. That's the thing. You have to already go in there with a solid mind of your own beliefs. You're just getting perspective. You have to already go in there.
Christian? Are you Christian?
I am.
Okay.
But she was, she's also Christian, but I didn't know that. But it was just helpful for me to kind of hear her talk about stuff that I already knew. And it was
Okay.
like, oh, look at it like this. She was like, actually, when you wake up, ask the Lord to see. We're changing the whole topic here, but
Yeah.
ask the Lord for you to be seen how He sees you and not how anybody else sees you.
And that's what I just
stuff
told
like
you.
that. Yeah,
I just told you this
did say that.
yesterday. I just
Isn't
told
that-
you this yesterday.
isn't that-
That's
it's crazy.
I like
Right? So,
Torre.
Jesus is my therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Jesus
So do
is
you
my
feel-
homeboy.
Do you feel better? So you don't go consistently. You go when you feel
No,
like
I go
you
when I need to. I feel like
And you go
right now,
consistently?
Yeah, I
right
go
now I'm doing
consistently.
okay, right? If I ever have a moment where I'm like, I need, I feel this way or I feel that way, I want to get some stuff off my chest, then I'll hit up either one, depending on what the topic is. But I don't know if it's something I need consistently. But I'm not ashamed to say, 2 years ago, I would have been like, I don't got no
Yeah.
therapist.
Yeah.
And while I'm in a therapist parking lot, then I go in.
I think because
Right.
also it wasn't 2 years ago. Now it's like therapy is a thing. Mental health
Yes,
is, you know what I mean?
okay.
It's like, people
Yeah.
are
It's
promoting
commercials. Yeah, it's
So I
commercials.
think you probably would have been more embarrassed because it wasn't as like a positive mindset, surrounding therapy.
Yeah, embarrassed too, and then just like, even you call back home and it's like, yeah, I got therapy, and your people be like, therapy? What?
Me and my cousin was talking about this, and she was like, I think I need a therapist. I was like, girl, me too.
Yeah.
You know what's beautiful about therapy?
But I think it depends on, I also went through a space recently in my life that I've never experienced before, where I was like, damn, I don't like how I'm feeling. Damn, this is
the last time I seen you, I wanted to tell you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People were like, they were able to see it on me, and I was like, that's not good.
But no, I can
that.
see
So
it
then
now.
I need to go talk to somebody. I need to get this out. I need to work through these things, and also not. It was a space where I was like beating up on myself, and it's like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? But take from, learn from, move forward. So I think that yeah,
I really do want to give y'all
just
that.
recognizing when you feel like you need it.
Yeah.
But you going consistently, you feel like has it helped tremendously?
It helped a lot, and the overthinking part helped. The overthink, because overthinking is a big thing for me, and imposter syndrome is right next to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you overthink and you think you're not good enough. So, because to each his own. But as your friend, you do need therapy.
Thank you, friend.
You do, and the beauty about therapy is just that you shouldn't go back to your same environments. Like, if you're paying this much money, you shouldn't go back to nobody that caused you triggering or anything, because now your money went down the drain.
Yeah.
So, like, if you go into, like me, I had to go to therapy. I went to therapy for the wrong reasons.
Are you saying that she needs therapy in the sense of we all need therapy?
No.
Okay.
We go. But I seen something in her face, like when we did a photo shoot, and I was like, damn, Keysha need therapy.
Yep.
And I was like, she need therapy. I was like, but I ain't gonna pressure it.
And at first I was like, oh, people just go through seasons. Like, you just haven't, thankfully, you've been blessed and you haven't went through a season yet. Keysha, this is just a season. But it's like, nah, you need to talk to somebody.
And it's super dope.
That season bothers you and affects you in so many ways. And then, like, it being shown on my face. Because that's the thing. People are always like, oh, my God, you're such a light. You're such a this. You're such a that.
Yeah.
And even I think in those moments, I was still providing laughter for people, which is part of why, another reason why people need therapy is because it's like you going through stuff and you feeling stuff on the inside and whatever's happening in your life. But then you also are putting on this, mask almost, or not even that you're trying to front, but just like life. I still got to do what I got to do. I'm a comedian. I still got to make people. I still got to get on stage and make people laugh. And that's why right now I'm hurting.
And that's why, to me, like, when I was looking at my friend, and this is my safe circle. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going through something, I'm no longer ashamed to even say anything. But I know you, and we always joke. Okay, so let me tell you, we always joke about Keysha face, right? Because Keysha has a resting bitch
she
face.
100% do it. Keysha, do it.
I don't know how to do it. It just happens. I just do it. That's just who I am. That's how God made me.
Chevy, here you go.
It'd be like,
Because y'all know what? I'm always in my head. I'm thinking, I'm processing, I'm listening. I'm not a super, that's just my face. But on the inside, I could be like, oh, this conversation dope as hell.
Shout out to all the rest of bitches' faces.
Okay, y'all know how y'all do it, but y'all do it.
Keysha could be a meme.
I always had that.
Sure.
I look back at that picture. We was at Disney World. I think I was in like the 5th or 6th. I was in the 6th grade. I'm having the time of my life. And I used to love Mickey Mouse. You know how every girl had their little characters in high school. My face on the pictures was like...
Oh, we gotta see that. We need to pull that picture.
We need to bring up baby pictures.
Yeah,
we need to see. Was you a baddie at birth? We need to know.
We need to pull it up.
Was you a baddie? I look the same my entire life.
But I think it's super dope too, Keysha and Chevy, that you can actually, be open to that. Because some people would get offended. Like, what? You need therapy. And excuse me? I don't need no therapy. Some people are super, like, not open or receptive to even receiving that. So to have the friendship where you can have friends around you where you can actually say, hey, I think,
And it bothered, like, I felt her. Like, that's the thing. Like, and I had to learn how to, stop living vicariously through my friends and emotions. Yeah. Because that takes a lot of energy.
And like you said 2 things at the beginning. You said vulnerability. It takes a lot to sit in there in front of a person you don't know, or maybe even if you do know them now after a few sessions, and be vulnerable and share your thoughts and your feelings. Like, that's hard.
It's so hard.
But I tell you what, after that first lady, I realized all I needed was to cry. All I wanted was to get that out.
I've never cried so much in my entire 39 and a half years of living than I have in the past 6 months.
Amen. Amen to that. Doesn't it feel good?
Never, ever, ever. I was like, bruh, I feel like I should be out of tears by now. Like, what is happening?
Doesn't it feel good kind of just to get that out? That's what I needed. Afterwards, I was like, yo, I needed that. That's what I needed. Just to...
I'm sorry. This whole time, I don't want to seem like I wasn't paying attention. We were going live for the viewers, and my volume was off. So nobody heard. Really? They was like, it looks like it's a good conversation.
No, it wasn't. I saw somebody comment about therapy.
But I guess at some point it went off. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I did see that too, but everybody kept saying we can't hear you.
Yeah, but I think it's super dope to,
I felt sad because I was like, damn, how do I tell her that I feel something? But whenever
are you saying it now for
Be
the first time?
honest.
Are you
Yeah.
saying it
You know,
now?
it's funny. I was talking to
for the
David.
first time, yeah, I'm saying it out loud, and again, this is a safe space because then it bothered me more than what I thought it did, and I was like, something wrong with Keysha, especially after we had like the little meeting. I was like, something wrong with her because her patience. She get annoyed, but her patience is a little different now, and it's not coming off as like impatient.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
It's coming off like I'm
yes,
angry.
Yes.
And
yes.
I was like, yeah, something wrong with Keysha because she got a resting bitch face for the most part, but you could feel
There's no
Keysha
harm in my resting bitch face.
happiness. You know what I'm saying? When you're next to her,
Yeah.
regardless of what her face looked like. And I was like, damn, when I'm telling her about it, I don't want to impose.
Yeah.
And then when
I'm
I seen that
glad you're
damn
saying it.
phone picture pop up, I was like, oh,
It's crazy
okay,
because
I'm
a few
kidding.
people have said that, and I was like, damn, I don't want that to be shown. And I was talking to David,
Yeah.
our good friend David, and I was
My
telling
best
him
friend.
what was going on, and he was like, I knew on a FaceTime, he was on a FaceTime with somebody else, but I was in the background. I was like, damn. He was like, I could see on the FaceTime. I was like, something going on with Keysha. He was like, but you know, I don't pry. I was like, she
Yeah.
gonna tell me when she feel like telling me, and I was like, damn, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Even because I was going through some things, but even I don't like that to be seen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's when it's like, oh, you need therapy because you need to take this off of you. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I didn't realize that.
You didn't know that we can see that you're bothered?
No, because he wasn't telling
Not
her.
everybody. I mean, I
Oh,
talk,
yeah,
not,
it's
in the,
super
not in the
obvious.
moments when there was moments where I talked to y'all about the situation where I specifically came to y'all like the X, Y, and Z, right? In
Yeah.
those moments, yeah. But just day to day across the board, like
Yeah.
I was up here at Kevo Stage Studio for a comedy show,
Yeah.
and somebody came up to me and was like, "Yo." You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
You
And
good,
they
'cause I
kind of
would've
knew
been like,
the
"Yeah, no."
situation, but like,
Because you can't hide it.
I don't like
really.
that.
You can't hide it.
Yeah, you can't really hide
I don't have a
your
poker face,
facial.
which is why I have a
Right, that's it.
face.
That's
But
it right there. Are we allowed to give
but
the
yeah.
because I found it, I googled the therapist that I was going to. that I was
Yeah. Share that.
Okay, so it's Open Path Collective.
Open Path.
Path, PATH, collective.org. You
Okay.
can literally choose your therapist, choose your everything, the age, the race, the ethnicity, everything. So yeah, definitely check that out.
yeah.
When I
Go-
first seen
go
my
seek it.
therapist, she was like,
Oh, where are we? Okay.
she did like after I like spilled my guts out and cried, I don't know. And she was like, you know what it sound like? It sound like your emotions are in the back and everyone's is top priority for you.
Mhm.
And I was like, because you know what? It is.
You know that TikTok, they be like, and I wanted a black male therapist because mine was around a relationship issue. So I was like, I want to talk to a
Mine
black
was
man.
too.
Yep.
And that
Yeah.
was like a hurt and a pain that I've never felt. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Moral of the story is your therapist has a therapist.
Yeah, she
Right?
got to.
So don't be
Your
ashamed.
favorite rapper's
Don't be
favorite
don't be
rapper.
ashamed to sit up here and talk about your feelings and your thoughts and everything
Yeah.
out of embarrassment or fear or whatever
Yeah.
because that person got somebody to talk to. That person going through their own stuff
Yeah.
too. So just
And-
keep that in mind. That's what helped me. I'm
Yeah.
like, you probably talking to somebody else, and that,
Yeah.
you know, it's just
Because
it's fine.
everybody is we all going
Exactly.
through
We all going
through
something. It might be
something.
something
Exactly.
different. I didn't mean to hit the mic like that. It might be something different, but we all going through something. And that's why, like, when you see those memes, it's like, be kind to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's real because you just never know. I've had moments like that during
Yeah.
this
Be
this
kind, yeah.
this little 6-month time frame where, like, I was having a fucked up day. I was feeling bad. I was,
Yeah.
you know, and somebody just did something or said something nice, and it was
Yeah.
like, yo. And then it changed my thought to be like, this ain't the end all.
Yeah.
The life ain't over because of this. You know what I'm saying? There's still so much. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
My best
recommend
friend-
therapy for everybody.
My best friend was telling me, like, someone was telling her, like, Chevy just, you know, she glows and she's just living her life in LA, da-da-da. And she had to broker tell him, but she's also, her best friend is dying.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it was like a huge, like, mass. And I think, I always give a wellness tip, but I'm going to give you a one, and it's just give yourself grace.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
let's
Give
do it.
yourself grace
Yeah.
because we just are so hard on ourselves.
Mhm.
Give yourself grace to go
You told
through
me that
every
yesterday.
emotion.
Yeah.
Nothing's
that
off the
yesterday.
table.
Yeah.
And no
that's so
matter
true.
how hard life gets, always anticipate the sun.
Let's go.
Always.
All the
I
time.
saw a quote before and it stuck with me, and it said, "Joy comes in the morning. Morning comes whenever you open your eyes."
It does.
And there was another one that was like, "I am the joy. Everything else is just passing through."
Mm-hmm.
And I try to focus on that because it's like
Yeah.
this is a moment in time. Because on top of what I was already dealing with, then I lost one of my favorite cousins.
Yeah.
Then I lost my uncle, and it was like that's a tough. And then it was a holiday, so it's like
Yeah.
that's a tough time.
Yeah.
But I had to realize, like you said, feel all the emotions.
Go
feel
through
it. You hurting,
everything.
You
Yeah.
grieving, grieve, but also know joy comes in the morning. Also
Yep.
know you are still the joy,
Woo.
and
Yep.
everything else. And
You
then
are
there's
still the
another
joy.
one. Not to get too deep on y'all. Shout
Come
out
on,
to my
Maya.
homeboy David Tinsley. He said that I don't want to butcher it. He said that life is suffering.
Yep.
But the people around you, the people in your life, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your relationships, whatever, they make the suffering basically worthwhile. They make the suffering better. Like in a sense, like you're always going to go through something, whether it's a loss, whether it's losing your job, whether it's finances, whether it's mental health, whatever. And then you have that's going to happen because that's life. But you have people in your life who basically help to make that suffering better in a sense. So.
Yeah. Woo wee.
Ooh.
Ooh, I feel the
I know.
spirit.
Auntie, we got.
Oh my gosh.
Let them use you.
Come on.
We don't want nobody to think making a mockery of God.
For real. Like, wow.
No, seriously.
Real.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I think it's tea time now. My
It's
goodness.
tea time.
It's tea time.
It's
Let's get
tea
to
time.
it. Because woo.
It's
No,
tea
that's
time.
a word, like, for real. Like, I love that. I love, like, the positivity and, you have it in your me to pull it up. I think that's
You're
super,
right.
super dope. Like,
Yeah.
man. Whew.
All right,
love
y'all. So
that.
let's go ahead and get to the tea time. So if you don't know, tea time is when we read one of your emails. It can either be advice that you're looking for, a crazy story, or a question that you just have for your aunties. So we tune into our nieces and nephews to see what's going on. All right. So we got an email from our niece. Hey, aunties. Hey, girl.
Hey.
I need to know why these men today are afraid of commitments. Where are the new men at?
Ooh.
Ain't
A
no
woman
man.
signs a woman waiting on her husband. Girl, ain't we all?
You
Child.
better pray on that.
If I knew exactly where to point you to, I'd be in that same line.
Because you can't
Why
put
are
on the
they afraid of
church
commitment?
no more. You can't even say a good man in church is a good man. It's like,
I don't think
Yeah.
it's a specific place. I think that I think people are afraid of commitment. Even when do y'all
are
follow?
people afraid of
Y'all
commitment?
follow
Are we?
L.A. Justin Boy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a very toxic page, but the shit sometimes it's funny.
It's
So
funny
if
as hell.
you can use it for entertainment, but to live by that. But it also makes me realize, especially sometimes I'll scroll through the comments, how many people really feel this way. Everybody has trust issues. Everybody's afraid of being hurt. Everybody's afraid to give their all. People like, oh, I want the relationship my grandparents had, or the commitment.
But your grandma was getting. I don't
That
like
too.
it.
I think they mean in the sense of like how they stay together, right? You don't know too many
Through
people.
cheating?
No, but you don't. I'm not saying that that's right by no means. I'm saying you don't know too many of our parents' generation that was raised in a single parent home, and they may not have known what was going on. Yeah, granddaddy might have had a kid on the other side of town, but the kid didn't know. They grew up feeling like they had a happy life, right?
Yep.
But it's like also you got to be willing to have that level of commitment, and I don't mean by no means stay through cheating or beating, but I think it's so people are so quick to be like, oh, I had this issue, I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a red flag, I'm out. Oh,
Yep.
right. People aren't working through things, right? And so I think the commitment thing, why some people, this next generation is afraid of commitment is like, one, everybody think they got so many options.
Mm-hmm.
And by no means am I saying settle, but know that it's like the 80-20 rule.
Yep.
You might be looking at this person like, oh, they lacking X, Y, and Z, so let me talk to this person. And you're going to realize what that person is lacking the other person had, which is a better trait to have than what they do have. You know what I mean? And I think rap music, Instagram, I think all of that unfortunately plays a part into it where everybody has this side chick, main chick mentality. Everybody think that is cute. Everybody's so afraid of, everybody is like, oh, let me just focus on my career. This is what I hear people say all the time. You need to focus on your career. Why do we never tell people to focus on love? Love is just as important, right? Love is a basic human need. You have people who are successful, rich, famous, the whole nine, and they commit suicide. They focus on their career. They got money. They successful. They're not happy, right? So I think people are focused on all of these other things, material things. People are so focused on just more is why they're afraid of commitment. And I think people didn't have good examples growing up. I think our generation didn't have a lot of good examples growing up.
I wouldn't say that men are necessarily afraid of commitment. I would hate to put men in that category.
Yeah.
Not
I would
all men, by no means
would-
we're not saying all.
I would say that men are afraid of commitment with possibly
This
the
is
wrong.
giving Kevin Samuel.
It's giving
Kevin,
Kavita.
it's giving Kavita.
I think when it's a person that they're unsure about is when they're afraid of commitment. If you meet a woman, if you're a man and you meet a woman that you're all about, I haven't seen them be, oh, I'm scared. If you're for sure about me and you love me and you are all in, you are not afraid of commitment. The ones who are afraid of commitment are the ones that they just not sure about that woman. I wouldn't tailor it towards like, why we're the new men. Nah. If it's somebody who they like, who they want to be with, they're going to commit and they're going to get married and they're going to have the bachelor party at the strip club or the bowling alley. Damn it.
The bowling alley. I think it's absolutely a case by case. By no means am I saying every man. However, I do think this generation is a little less likely to commit, even with, if we want to go here, when we talk about black men and men of other races, right? And I got an infinite love for black men, so I'm not putting black men down by no means.
Yeah.
A lot of other races, they be married at 20 years old.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to
They
say that.
looking for a wife,
20.
right?
So
They're not dating you for 7 years.
My
before they put
mom
a
and
ring on your
dad got
finger.
married at 21 and 23. So yeah.
My parents were married, at like 25, right?
Yep.
But this generation, and we are even, you hear it all the time, like, don't settle down right now,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that overall, there is a lack of respect for relationships and commitment in marriage and all of those things. And it's not every person by no means.
Yeah.
But I do think that I think that plays the whole Instagram culture, feeling like, oh, you got all these options. I scroll through when I see all these girls.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be perfect. Oh, I think that plays a part in it. I don't think there's a specific place to find a man looking for commitment in a sense. Like you said, if he is into you and he wants to commit to you and that's the type of man he is, he's going to do it. So I think it's just having some discernment while you're dating. I think it's paying attention, keeping your eyes open. Sometimes you can look at dudes and tell, like, he for the street.
He for the street.
Right?
I like
He
that.
for the
I like that you
street.
said discernment. That's a big one.
Yeah.
By the way, this email ends off by saying a woman waiting on her husband.
I think she needs to
Yeah.
figure out what situation she getting herself in that she's meeting
Yeah.
men that don't want to commit.
Yeah.
Because I have never,
Me either.
I have never met anybody who encountered
I have.
anything with me
Right. That didn't want to commit.
that didn't want to
Yeah,
commit.
same.
So
I
it's
have.
really
I've been
like
kind of
what
that.
you putting out and what you're doing. However, my advice, if you're having conversations with this person and this person is saying, no, I don't want to get in a relationship, I'm not ready for love, they need to get out your face.
That part.
Because if you're looking for commitment, unless you're looking for a friend,
That part.
then you need to establish that
Exactly.
connection.
Let's talk about intentions.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's
talk
the point I
about
was going to make.
intentions.
I've actually had a situation like that before where I was dating somebody who didn't have good intention. I could tell he was afraid of commitment, right?
Yeah.
And so, from my experience, is run.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Why
in
are you
that
wasting my
moment,
time?
leave. Get up. I don't care
it's not
how. I don't care
fair.
about nothing else. Get up out of there. The moment you realize that, and that's different from just running. I feel like this generation just runs so quick for everything.
not
but
fair to
that's
you.
different when when you realize that
Yeah.
person is afraid of commitment. He's not about to commit to you. Oh, baby.
Because
I
it's
need
just
to know
like
that
you
from
gotta,
jump, though. I need to know
yeah.
that from jump. I'm asking
Yeah,
you at
you-
the very beginning, what are your intentions with us?
Listen,
Yeah.
girl.
If you, because I'm not trying to waste this time. I'm not trying to wait that 9 months,
Yeah.
and it's like, wait, what?
I met
Tell me from
somebody
jump.
that was just all like, you do this, you do this, you do da-da-da-da-da-da. And after they were, like after my trial was over, because that's where the fuck I felt like I was at
30-day
court.
trial.
They were like, but you know what? I'm still scorned.
Mm.
Excuse me? Like, I wish you would have said this in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because if
That's a fair-
I'm
that's a
telling
fair
you I'm
question.
experiencing love and this is what I want, I'm being transparent, and you're just taking all these things like, oh, this is
Yeah.
oh, you're so soft, you're so that. And then you bomb me because you don't like how my behavior is for you, but
Yeah.
you are judging me off of your past experience
Yeah.
because like you're not being vocal about what you want from the beginning.
Yeah.
So and that is
You
so
gotta ask those
big in
questions.
today's
You
like
have to.
dating world. Is just that a person want to know so much about you, so much, and they don't want to feel like they're in therapy when you meet them.
Right.
So when you make them be accountable on their shit, they're like, "Is this about me?" Absolutely.
Yeah. I like
It
to
is.
ask questions.
That's a fair question to
Yeah.
be like.
Yeah.
I would say, what are your intentions
What's
with
your
dating? Because you
intentions?
might not have with me. We don't know where this is gonna go. But are you dating with a purpose? Because
Exactly.
if not, then get up out of there. And I think for women, it's sometimes we don't listen. So a dude will tell you he
And they
giving
still-
you.
they-
He
we
giving you
won't-
the
He
we
ain't
answer.
gonna
He
tell you. He
telling
gonna show you.
Yeah.
He'll show you. Sometimes
Yeah.
he'll tell you. Sometimes he'll show you. But either way, it's like you gotta recognize that, and then you gotta make the decision that's best for you.
And I
Yeah.
know we
So-
gotta move on from this
Yeah, we do.
subject, but the last thing I want to say about this is
What's your tip?
because this topic could go for on and on and on and on. But if a person is telling you that I was,
Can I sing to you?
Can I sing to you? But no, like if they're very vocal about I ain't looking for love, I've been hurt, just place them accordingly
Yeah.
on a team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're in the streets, place them on the bench. And look at the rest of your players. Because if the rest of your players is doing what they got to do, giving you flowers, making those dates, scheduling that time, then you prioritize them. But the ones that's very vocal about, I don't want a commitment. Well, you know what? You look like you got issues.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like mommy or daddy. And I
Maybe
don't
you
want
need
to
to
deal
go to
with that.
therapy.
Yeah,
It all comes back to therapy, guys.
There we go. Yeah.
And just to let you know, if you are dating and you tell somebody that you're interested in, you are into therapy, that's 10 points on the board for me.
That's a green flag.
That's maybe 50 points that you in therapy.
You gotta change your panties.
You
Like,
gotta
what-
change your
what-
panties. I'm like,
There we
what
go.
in the
There
wa-
we go.
What in the water
All
park?
right. Chevy, do you have another? We got a wellness tip, right? You have another one?
We had two.
We had two.
We had
Oh, y'all
two.
got all the
We
wellness
really-
tea,
y'all
everything
got some
today.
love today on this episode.
Y'all
Y'all got a
did.
lot of love.
Man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you
Yes.
so
Yeah,
much for
y'all
watching
did.
with us.
Close us out so I can get back to my praise dance. Because I'm still feeling what
You
you said
still feeling
earlier.
it?
Like, for real.
Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to
Yeah.
somebody's auntie. Your mom, not your mama's sister, but your
Not
auntie
your
with
mama's
the T.
sister.
Make sure you follow us also on Instagram, somebody's underscore auntie.
Come on.
I'm not, I
And
don't
we
want
gonna
nobody to feel
close-
like I'm
we
making a
gonna close it
mockery.
out with a praise dance.
What church do you go to?
You too.
You know how your aunties be arguing, and then you got that one cool auntie that just be like, "No more drama
Rest in
in my
peace.
life."